Okay, so this life is a gift. Um, it's written into our DNA. And the only way that we've come so far and so divided from that gift, and even the ability to recognize that gift or admit that gift, is because of generations of being raised under these extremely toxic systems that were only set up to divide us, because by dividing us, they are able to extract each one of our individual life force energy. And that's what they've done to us. It's so simple to see. Once you get cleaned out, once you get pulled away from the system and are able to take it, instead of seeing it from right here, take a bird's eye view of what's going on, it's so apparent. I mean, it's so obvious. Uh, what amazes me is the absolute tremendous, unfathomable strength of the human spirit, to be able to awaken out of these slumbers, to be able to see past the facade that's been interwoven into our generational lineages for so long, that that's all we've known. I mean, we have generations that hate people just because of their color. We have generations that have been passed down this hate because they got us to consume the flesh of other sentient beings. They got us so distracted in pointing at these so-called elites who are eating children and pedophiles, and we wonder, why isn't humanity at large just uprising against it? Well, it's because humanity at large has been put to sleep, hypnotized, and indoctrinated, conditioned to accept that these things are normal. You do you, I'll do me. The elites eat babies, and we eat animal flesh. It doesn't matter. They're both sentient beings. There's no difference whatsoever. And the only reason somebody would think that there's a difference is because you have been completely indoctrinated, completely trained, completely conditioned, whether through your family lineage or through your cultural and social conditionings, to accept these things as normal and to justify these gross injustices. Um, so again, this life is an extremely magical, beyond what the slave mind can even comprehend, um, gift that's been given to us. And what it is it's the present. And they've tricked us. This is what they did. The present. Think about that. The magical present, the here and now. They even named it. They throw it in our faces. They call it the present. It's your present. But they've got us so caught up in survival mode over generations that have been bred into us to just fear that at any given moment we're going to lose everything if we don't just keep turning these wheels for these systems through shame and guilt and the religious indoctrination and the threat of hell and all these stupid made up bullshit things that this system came up with to control us. Um, they even throw it in our face. It's called the present. It's a present. It's a gift. But they've got us living in the past. They've got us living in the past. And what does our past say? Just, they've completely wiped out and tried to get rid of and extinguish the fact that we're being reincarnated over and over and over again into this matrix. And So in the way they do that is again through the childhood trauma and abuse, because that childhood trauma and abuse shocks you so hard. It shocks your system. It shocks your nervous system. And through that, this is the same way MK Ultra works. This is the same way all the CIA brainwashing programming works. This is the same way the TV works. That's why they call it programming. This is the same way all of it works. Radio, all of it was set up to control. It was all set up through the military. It was all set up for propaganda, for the war machine, to keep us hating, to keep us killing, to keep us giving life force energy, to keep feeding all this loosh to these systems, right? To these corrupt systems. Well, if you're being born, especially if you're being born into a hospital, um, in front of strangers, thrown around, injected with all, 50 frickin' heavy metals and poisonous chemicals at birth, and thrown around from stranger to stranger, thrown in a bassinet, taken to these, you know, godless, just dead cinder block white rooms with all these screaming other infants. That's just your introduction, you know. It's in what it creates is immediately fear, and fear is a great motivator, to keep you on a system, to keep you turning the wheels. Because if they have indoctrinated you to think that if the wheels quit turning, everything goes to shit, and you will not be able to live, and it's going to be a horrible death. Well, guess what? They can get you to live a horrible life, and that's what they've got us doing. Because they got us living in the past, and they got us living in the future, and they've got us giving up our present, which is our present, and we're willfully giving that gift over to these systems by slaving away and uh, continually, daily giving up our humanity and consenting and complying with in these systems. And so we're giving our present to them, and that's what they're doing. They can't just take it from us. They can, but they can't take it from all of humanity at the same time. So they've perfectly, because this is a one world system. It's been a one world system for ever. This is a one world system with proxy governments set up to make it appear that, that there's different cultural, or how to put this, that there are different nation states, and there aren't. There totally aren't. And again, you could just take our own personal observances from right now. Not screw the past, screw their history, his story, the winner's story, right? Screw all that. Just take our own observances and experiences just in the recent past. They came out with a fake pandemic, scamdemic, right? And they scared the whole world and got it to shut down at the same day. Got it to shut down the same day, and then 6 years later, they're still trying to act like there's different nation states, and we still believe it. Because in order to keep these wheels turning, go to work mindlessly every day and just work for the dollar to survive, we have to, in order to do that, you have to have something to fall back on, and that's your cultural and social norms. And through those cultural and social norms, they have us consenting and complying to the killing of innocent people all over the world. And it doesn't matter, these wars and rumors of wars are just to, again, extract loosh. Loosh is your energy field. It's the substance within your energy field, your aura. Okay, your aura. Your body puts out. We don't even know that. They've lied to us about that the whole time, extracting this energy from us. And so yeah, these wars and rumors of wars are completely generated just to extract loot. They're only killing a few hundred people, a few thousand people, whatever. The medical industry in America alone is responsible, by their own admission, responsible for between 400 to 800,000 deaths per year just from medical malpractice alone. That's just what they admit. That doesn't include any of the injuries from the shots. That doesn't include a lot of things because the government, is has it to where you can't. All that stuff is it cannot be made public. It cannot be brought into court. It can't be done anything. It's completely sealed off because they don't want you to know. So if they're admitting to 400 and 800,000 deaths just in America alone from medical malpractice, I'd say that number is at least 10 times. We are actually living daily since the day we were born. We have been living through the slaughter of humanity. Just like they breed the cattle, just like they breed the cattle, right? They breed them. The cattle can live up to 25, 30 years. They breed the cattle and they slaughter them. They pump them full of chemicals, get them as fat as they can, and then extract them and then put them on the plate and then feed animal flesh, dead, rotting animal flesh to you and me. And they've sold us and told us, and we're so dumbed down and so stupid that we really believe that we need to eat animal flesh for nutrition. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. And once humanity wakes up to this one hoodwink that they put us under and realizes the absolute devastation and destruction that they've got us to be complicit in, it's going to be very humbling and humiliating. And that's what we need. That's what we need because everybody's, standing on their pedestal and defending their tower. And, just in the name of survival, just to get through the next day, just to be able, no matter how miserable they are, they just want to get through to the next day because they're not living in the present. They've already given that gift away. They've given that gift away. Every single one of us have given that gift away of the precious, magical present moment, the present. We've given that gift away to their systems. And we're feeding into all these systems by living in the past and the future. And it's completely 100% set up. It's completely 100% fake. It's completely 100% an illusion. It's completely 100% bullshit. So, shame and guilt, again, that's why they have, what is it, like 25,000, 45,000 laws in America, right? It is that way no matter what. It's not about, you're like, yeah, but nobody's getting locked up for all those laws. But the point is that you can at any given moment. And that's what they're doing. They are scaring you. They are putting it into your subconscious. Stay in line, shut up, do what you're supposed to do. Don't rock the boat. You remember what you did last year. You got off easy. Don't do that again. Shame and guilt, shame and guilt, shame and guilt, shame and guilt, right? Living in the past, regrets. Look at all the things we regret. We regret things. We will go into depressions and regret things and not even understand all the factors at play that are causing that depression. And if you're still eating animal flesh, then you are unknowingly, subconsciously, so 180 from what it means to be a human, as a caretaker, as the most advanced biological system on this earth that's supposed to be the caretaker, that's supposed to be working symbiotically and is responsible for the energy created within this realm. And because we've created such toxic environments that are all about competition and extracting resources and what can I get, that's where they've got us at. And this causes regret. And it might not cause regret to the conscious mind because the conscious mind won't allow it. It can't, because it causes cognitive dissonance. So it's causing regret in the subconscious mind. And then that's beating us down even more. But we still force ourselves to get up through all of the pain. And our bodies are letting us know our bodies aren't broken. They're operating exactly as they should. They are whispering to us in symptoms, telling us this isn't right. Stop, stop. Meat, they call it meat. They don't even call it animal flesh. They call it meat. They give it different names, steak and meat and burger and all these freaking names. Just that way you are not triggered. It doesn't trigger the thinking part of our brains, in which, is also going to trigger our hearts. Again, the information highway down our spines. And they've got us all kinked up, all inflamed. It's almost like, you don't even have a chance, until you get opened up to it. And that's why it's so important, as we get opened up to these truths and our hearts speak to us, and then our mind starts kicking in. We start reclaiming the faculties of it and being able to reason and figure these things out, that it is our responsibility to steer our ship, to change our trajectory. And they got us thinking, oh, well, there's 400 million other people out there that are all voting and playing in these systems. What's the difference if I do or not? I'm just going to vote for the guy with a nice haircut. I'm just going to vote for the guy that says that he's going to not raise taxes this term. It's so retarded, guys. We just got to wake up. Living in the past creates depression. Because what you look at the past and you use that as a template for your future, and you're like, fuck, I've been running since the day I was born. So that's going to create depression. There's no hope. What's there to look forward to besides my dopamine hits and endless doom scrolling, right? Anxiety, of course. And of course we feel abandoned. There's a extreme sense of abandonment. And, they broke the family unit apart. How do you say that? They forced parents into being utilized as a small police force to police the next generation. It's the craziest shit. We got parents going against their own children, their own offspring that came out of them, going against their own offspring when the teacher says, oh, well, your kid can't sit still. We're going to have to give him this crack so that way he'll settle down, because he's just wired, and we need him to be educated and listen and obey and stand in line and shut up and do what he's told. And when the bell rings, he jumps. And they've got parents literally disciplining their children and telling their children that they have problems and putting them on these highly, highly, highly toxic, brain-deadening medicines that turn them into zombies. That we are literally living in hell, guys. This is hell. To all you Christians out there that think there's some fantasy hell where everybody's going to be, this is hell. We are living in it. And we as parents are raising our own offspring and bringing them into hell, and then being lead devil for the Satan himself to discipline and chastise our kids and break their spirits and break them down to feel as shitty as we do. And so when you live in the past, you also ruminate. You ruminate. Can't. You think about the past and you start trying to figure things out, but they've already taken. Back when you were 5 years old and you entered that stupid ass school, they took your brain. They took all your faculties of reason. So what are you left to do when you think about the past because you're trying to make a better future? All you're able to do is ruminate. You can't come up with better ideas because everything you know to make anything better is within the system, and your subconscious already knows that that is a fool's errand. Numbing and addiction. So what comes after that? Numbing and addiction. It's only, guys, this is only the natural process by which the mind and the body survive. And the thing is, until we wake up and realize that we've been so hoodwinked by these systems that knew how to play us like a fiddle from the beginning, for God knows, at least 100 years, probably hundreds and thousands, who knows how long we've been under this spell for, we're going to have numbing and addiction, emotional, psychological, spiritual, and physical. And that's just how it's got to be. And that's why everybody numbs out and is addicted. And they've got us, we're all addicted. Everybody's addicted to their animal flesh, and addicted to their slop, to their goyim slop, their dead, chemically laced, poisonous, so-called food that they need for nutrition. That the very systems that set the